Hello! Do you like playing a random game that nobody has ever heard of? That's right, that's 24Colors. This is the Pygame edition. What's different about this version compared to these other three is, well, this one is unique. It's because it's made in Python. Now, why is there this particular version of the tutorial? You need to, yeah, I need to make a video, a guide, basically, on how the hell this doohickery works. So, what you need to do is, obviously, you need to have the game first. Right, so we'll download the game, say we put it in here. Let's just name it 24Colors Pygame modded or something. Just extract the game, put it anywhere, basically. Extract the game. Boom. That's how you get 24Colors Pygame edition. So what you need is a little tool called tiled. Right, you need tiled. Now, I don't know when was the last time, what was the last version that you used tiled with. And I already have the application myself. So, there you go, you open up tiled. There you go. So, I already have the project loaded. This is what it looks like when you open the world. Can I close all this? Close all this first. So, usually when you open tiled, you're gonna have no open files right there. You'll notice a folder called worlds. Now this is where the worlds will be. Like, you'll have your main world, and there's this random folder, something that's useless. So you'll notice that there's like a lot of these things. Each of these is the actual level. So let's say I open this one. Okay. See, that's just one level that I can play. Notice, it's just one room. You don't see the other rooms that it came with. What you need is to open the project. So you'll find a file called mainworld.tiled-project. You can open that. Boom pow. You'll see all of these things when you open any of these tile maps. Oh boy, hold on. I messed up. You're hickory. Preposterous, even. So, you're right, that's one thing you have to consider. Close project. So, perhaps you can just open something else. I'm doing this impromptu with no direction at all, no script. World makes sense, because, that's what you actually needed to open. You needed to open the world. That all makes sense, right? So, yeah, you can see what I mean when I say world. This is the world itself. Right, you see all these cool levels. Ooh! Right, okay. So how do I actually edit a level? First thing to note, it's your choice whether you want to modify the existing main world folder or if you want to make your own world. Let's say I'll copy and paste this. Let's call it my cool world. Right, and we can go back here, we can close this one. We can go to the new folder and start editing there. Boom. Same thing. Now, let's get on to the part where you actually edit the levels. So there's like a few things you need to know. There's seven. There are 7 layers in each level. So we'll go through each one. So what is object interactables? So that's the one. This is primarily for things like scripts. So you'll have a script block. You have your tile set here. Let's see. 24Colors interactive map blocks. So you have C, T, F, TP, S, and SC. So S stands for sign, actually. It's basically the same thing as a script block, but it requires to be interacted with. So you'll notice that S has a custom property called script.ccc. Now this is just a basic scripting file. I'll get into that at a later date. But basically you can make your own scripts. Now I can add my own objects. Let's say, what tool do I use? Right, let's see. No, that's the wrong one, buddy. I forgot how to actually put stuff in here. That's embarrassing. Right, okay, okay, this is it. You use this. This is basically the same thing as a script, but it's basically, oh, you're gonna, yeah. So, somehow this one, yeah, okay. Let's say I wanna attach it to a full script called log6.ccc. Right, I can just do that here, and that'll work. Now, that's for object interactables. There's normal interactables. That's the things like your checkpoints, your trinkets, whatever this F block is. I haven't seen that damn thing. So when you look around the base map, you'll see stuff like S, SC, C, T, all sorts of cool stuff. Basically, and it allows you to interact with the game through through your objects. So for now, all you have is the letter C, the letter right. I'm actually dumb. It's this one. You have your interactables, your trinkets, your teleporters, your F blocks. So those are the interactables that you can use in the game. Now there's property and miscellaneous. So this this layer shouldn't have anything. If you put stuff in it, it's not gonna do anything. So all it does, it's gonna have some extra flair, like the additional title, the background color, if the background is striped in a horizontal or a vertical line, sometimes even both, that works. And there's the level title, obviously, and you have the option to whether or not you want to loop level based on what side the player goes to. Let's say loop down. If that's on, that means if the player goes down, they'll go back from the top. That's what it means. But if it's not, then they can just go on to the next level. That's down here. So what's 4G? 4G is foreground. They're basically decorative elements that have no purpose aside from being decorations. You have spikes. That means if anything touches these tiles, it means that the player will be dead. Duh, obviously. Now solid is the element that the player can't pass through, which is where the collision system will take off. Then you have your spikes. You have the background elements, which are things that are behind the player and serve the purpose for being obviously background elements to help in with the environment. And all these 7 layers are important. So here's a more complicated example. Let's say I want to go here, or no, here. This one, which is what you'll be seeing. You'll notice it looks very disconnected from the other levels. Besides here, you wanna know why that is? Because when we check the properties, you'll see that the background is both horizontal and vertical. You loop in all directions, and the only way out is through this teleporter, which leads to this very room. And when the player spawns here, it's gonna automatically touch this script block, which will run a script. And cool. So, go about making your own levels? Let's say, right, I want to go here. So, let's say I want to go to the solid one, right? I want to be able to copy this, right? And I want to go here. I want to paste that in. And then, boom. I can paste it in. I can extend it. And then maybe I could like erase this big area. Right? Obviously, we still have to clear elements like this, the background elements that we don't need. That's the foreground. Yeah, let's go to the background. Delete. Spikes. Delete. Interactables. Delete. Object interactables. Delete. So that's this is basically a blank canvas. So we can go up here. We can select, let's say, this part. I'm not vibing this music at all. I'm gonna change it. That will not do. Let's randomize this. I don't like what I'm hearing. Okay, fine. Let's play another song. So moving on, we have, right, we're gonna extend this. We're gonna add, we're gonna paste it. So we're gonna go back here actually. We're gonna copy. You should be, a reminder is that we should be selecting the right layer. So this is solid. I want to copy the elements here, which are in the solid category. Copy, go here, paste. Right. So now I can just drag this whole thing down. And then I'll probably like fix this. Right, I can fix that. Boom. Easy peasy. And then maybe, you know, let's say this room, I want to be able to have the player access this room by going underneath it. So maybe, let's say in this area, I'm going to make a cutoff area. And then I'll be extending. Ooh. Right. You know what would be really nice if there was a way you could like an eyedrop tool. But, you know, this will suffice. You can use this one. So we'll use that. Put this down here. Drag down. Like, this will be very boring. I'm sorry. So, I'm gonna be talking for a bit to try to keep this interesting. This is basically what I do when I make when I was making levels for 24Colors for the Pygame edition. And honestly, this is a nicer workflow, in my opinion, compared to what you'll have to be dealing with if you ever want to make levels for something like Legacy Edition. And we can keep extending, right? Right there. So we can go here, extend this little bar. Jesus. Sorry. Right, we can do that. Then, you know, maybe for this one thing, I can just fill it in. Right, I should have done that. I'm dumb. So, doing that, right, you can always use the rectangle tool for the corner. Yeah, let's put that there. So, right, what if we want to extend, like, I'm assuming, yeah, the player's going to pass through this one. They need to go through this, so I'm going to add an interactable, this teleport block, which probably needs, you know, because this won't do. So I'll put it here in object. How do I make it snap? Okay, there you go. So I'll put the teleport here. So what world is this? You can see the name. It's X2, Y6. So we're gonna put in here. I don't see why I can. Okay. So we're gonna say 2, 6, because technically all we need to do is move the player. When they touch this, they just go across through this little gap here. So we basically add. You can see at the coordinates down here. Let's see. I can put them at 29, 22. Alright, so that's basically done. Maybe I want to add a secret. So I can extend the solid blocks with, oh geez. Extend the solid blocks once again, so I can do that. And then maybe we can make it a room of nothing. Because that's the sad, unfortunate reality we have to deal with these days. Is that there's nothing anymore. Womp womp. Unfortunate. So let me fix up the tiles here because I'm actually a bit rusty. Yeah, clear this little room. Put this corner piece here. Fix up this little area of mess right now and right there. Boom. Right, we just technically extended the area. But what if, no, this area, I don't want to actually let anyone through. So I'm going to put a block there. So we can save our data in all of these levels that we edited. So the issue is that they're all here in this little my cool world thing. The thing about it is that the game is only built to read off this thing. So let's delete this and rename it to main world. Right. And when we run the level, that's big, guys. Should have been prepared. Alright, we're back in business, so we can test this by opening the game. Ignore that, I made the game, it's open source anyway. This is actually important. So it's actually loud. I should fix that in the future as well. Keep it at a good 11%. So that I can still hear myself when I'm recording. So, yeah, I got the entrance, yeah, you get demo, entrance, even the title bar will say demo. You'll notice our new changes. We can go down. What? Alright, so that's one unique quirk of the thing. Alright, so I'm seeing what's happening here. Ooh, can I open mouth already? So, the problem is that the game forgot that these two rooms exist. Actually, this entire layer. Because, there's a text file that basically limits how far the player can go down. So when we go to the main world, you'll notice a file called rules.txt. Sorry, wrong file. config.txt. So this is basically, this looks like gibberish, basically, but I'm gonna try and ascertain this based on what I'm reading. So basically, this whole area, that's 5 rooms across, 6 rooms tall. So the problem is that this is the 7th row. So I'm gonna basically change one number that says it's going to spawn the play. It's going to limit it at 7. 6, 7. Nah, just at 7 players. I do not care. Oh, right, because we renamed it. Right. So now the program is complaining. I'm gonna fix that real quick. I'm gonna put it back to my cool world. Right. I'm gonna put it back. Stop complaining. So we'll close this first. Now, since the game needs to read, we'll just put it back to main world. We'll run the game again. Right, skip the theatrics. I know how my game works. Yeah, again, platform round. And we're back to that opening that we just made earlier. We can go down here. Boom pow! What went wrong? Something went wrong. Amazing. So what went wrong? Literal 1.6363. Oh no. Oh no! Right, I think this is one thing we have to be careful with. Let's open the world again to see what went wrong. So the problem is when we try to go here. What's the problem? What is the problem with this level that made the game crash? I do not know. That's indeed curious. Because that's not supposed to happen. Right, my game is that bad. My bad, guys. Yikes. That is embarrassing. So is this. Why is it freezing? Interesting. This is not actually going the way I planned it to be. It's been going on for like 20 minutes. Okay, good. We got the demo running. So when we go here, that's when an error happens. I do not know why. So the issue is something with... Oh boy, hold on. What? I think there's a stray object in my game. This is the most embarrassing thing to happen right now. Right, so I have no idea where it's getting that number. That's not even supposed to be anything. Moving on, things like that can happen. But if you were to encounter any bugs in the game, unfortunately, I don't actually actively work on the game anymore, but it'll be right here in the 24Colors Pygame under my GitHub. Right, so I'm just gonna open my GitHub. So I'm gonna check my repositories. Right here. Which is where you can always make a change. And the entire source code of the game is open for you to see. Now I think this looks bad. Personally, this what even is this? Yikes. Now there's nothing I can do about that bug that we're having of the level. Nor is the game freezing on its own like that. Right, let's get the theme. Hey, not by me, sorry. Not with this one either. That's fair. Like that. So you can see, let's see, I'm gonna demonstrate how the details here are being used. Obviously you have a bluish background, and you have like, these sorts of elements going on. What's happening here? You can see that this, and this are checkpoints. You can easily correspond that here. So this is the starting script that plays the music. Then you have a sign that also runs the script, but it basically prints out dialogue. And you can actively change the level actually while the game is running. Let's say I want to add an orange square in Solid. I'm saving that. I go back to the next room. Boom! Now the entire area is unaccessible because of this one little change that I made. Okay. I have no idea what to do about this actually. Straight up, doo-doo code. Orange, your game is so buggy. Yeah, I know, that's why I stopped working on it. In fairness, this is a passion project that I haven't worked on in like a long time. We can easily add our own changes. Yeah, that's one thing. What about the background, the stuff? Let's go back here. Oh, it's still there. So, let's save that. You remove the square thing. Let's go back. Boom, no more square. It says here, welcome to the cavern, and we can go here to the properties. It says welcome cavern. You can change this where it's, let's say I put cyan. Right, I'm gonna go back here. You have to actually save it first, remember that. Now, right, because there's two of them, in fact. Evil Schmeevil, fade. So now when you go back to the room, it's still black. For some reason, well, you just turn it on. You know what? Maybe it's only a thing when you turn it on. Ooh, see? Now the colors are working. It looks like that one game. Yeah, it's under that, because technically, yeah, this is outer space. So go back, save, go back here, no more. So we can also change, let's say, the additional tile it is. Goodbye. Do not play this game. It's so bad. And then we go to the next room. Boom! Our edits are made. It says, goodbye! Do not play this game. It's so bad. I agree with myself. Exactly. So we can also make it... Right, I mentioned earlier that you can make it for... you can loop on your own. Let's say, when you go here, you can't go back to the left side. So I'm gonna tick loop left. So when I go here, what happens if I go back? I'm now at the other side! And then when I try to go back to the right, no, I just keep going forward. That's insane. Crazy. Ridiculous, even. Now, yeah, we can't go back anymore. What if we change that? We can obviously always turn it off, so let's save that. So when we go back here, bro just died to a spike. Great job, buddy. Amazing work. Another thing to note is that you can also modify the game files because they're right here. Let's say this 24-color tile set. Or let's say the character, for example. That's gonna be the simplest thing we can change. I'll open it in a sprite, for example. I'm gonna make a copy, of course, because I still like this blue square character that I made. So I'm just gonna name it backup. Right, because it's a backup. Now I'm gonna open this character in my little tile set. And maybe, let's say I want this character to be orange instead of blue, you know? So, instead of blue, we'll aim for a dark orange. And as for this one, we'll go under the same hue. And instead of red, you know, be funny, they'll be blue. Instead of red, they'll be blue. Right, that's funny. Same for this one. They'll be blue now. It's like a color swap, if I say so myself. Now, when you run the game, you'll notice a few things. Such as the favicon is now orange. Even the characters are now orange. Except for the particles, though, because that's not changing unless you edit the code. So then, boom, you have an orange character, and when it dies, boom, it's blue. Yippee. You basically done a color mod. Now you can do this with all the tiles, all the assets in the game. Your business. How you do it, I don't care. Just as long as it's not disgusting. I doubt that anyone's gonna do that though. But you can, it's basically, you could make your own games in a way, but just in a really, really tedious way that you could have probably used something else, like Mario Maker to the very least. But yeah, basically, technically this is an engine, I'd say. Like, you have your own platforming engine, you have the physics down, the animations, the world, the systems. You have the source code to be able to edit the game on your own. And I say that's an amazing power. Look at that. One thing I really want to bring back is crouching. That was the thing in the old version. However, due to limitations, yeah, I'm not bothered for that. Let's see, another thing I want to do. is I want to make a shortcut because I am too lazy to go through the level myself. Either that or I keep going through the same thing and it's kind of getting tedious. So boom pow, I just removed the hole. I can easily go here. Maybe, right, I can make this thing a little easier for myself. Remove this as well. Exactly. So let's die here, or maybe go. Yeah, go here. You can see now that the floor is gone, and I can just play as normal. And I can go down here, etc. Blah blah blah. Oh, it's this room. Okay. So this is like the weird place that needs the double jump for some reason. I'm just gonna point that out. Because why not? So you have the end, the access point. But let's say, right, I don't want to do that right now. No. Remove the solid block, and I can just basically. Ooh, buddy. Yeah, let's go back here. Why not? Or in other cases, you can just make a hole through here. Ooh. Then reload the level, because obviously you need to get that thing working again. So go down here, go through here. Ooh, ending. Right, then you can like, etc. Some last minute lore, some extra trinkets. Boom, pow. Right. And now we're back here in the start. So, one thing I want to cover, one last thing I want to cover is the source code itself. It's a mess, unless you think hard about it and realize that I'm such a doo-doo programmer. You'll see here there's a lot of stuff going on. What am I looking at? Blah 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 blah, etc. Alright, I'm gonna skip that. That's probably copyrighted. Fun. I don't need a TV to tell me about game shows and stuff. Right, so you can try to parse this code. The only important thing if you're going to edit the game, or the main important thing if you're gonna edit the game, is the dialogue thing. Dialogue sound, dialogue render. You have, let's say, you have the letter P or T. It's gonna play, all this does is the distinction of what sound to play when dialogue is being played. It's either the player or the sign. And right here is the code responsible for the dialogue, and basically the scripting system. There's more stuff in here you can look into. Intro stuff, right? Because you have your shake, destination, trinket, miscellaneous stuff. Then you can also look at the script, which is basically, right? Oh yeah, I got say, reply, shake, music, destroy, shrink, verify. So basically, there's a sequence queue you can append to it, and that's the order of the thing that will go. So like you could have say, then the sign will say something. You can put reply, and then the player will say something. You can shake the background, play the music followed by the file name. You can destroy. Okay, good question. What does it destroy? So going back earlier, you notice that the text, like how it interprets, it turns into the shortened, capitalized version of the script, which is under here, like MSC, shrink, dest. You can add your own to this messy else if chain. Please make this a lot better. And this one's for the dialogue. This one is for music. Like, it's gonna try to play this one, etc. All that. It can also, like, shrink. So shrink is a unique case because all it does is check if there's more than 8 trinkets that you have collected. And if it's so, then it's going to remove all the objects and all the teleporters in the room. it's dumb, and the only purpose of that is to let the player pass through, because normally this is a gate that, like, oh, you need more trinkets, come back later. The moment that you have more than 8, these two will disappear. These two will be gone. Let's move them. No more. And the player can pass through to the ending. So basically, the demo, the way it's supposed to end, you have to go through each room, collect at least 8 trinkets, then go back here. Then it will let you pass, and that's when the game demo technically ends. Now, with this whole entire system, you can either ignore it entirely, not play the game, like I have, or not work on it at all, or you could turn it into something interesting. Maybe, something that you weren't capable of making. But I'm sure, like, if you wanted to make this kind of game, you would do it in a better game, like the letter V 6 times, which is actually the main inspiration behind this game. Now, if I look it up, you can obviously see the inspiration of the game, right? Ooh, we got this toss it. Ooh, the toss it looks familiar. The background too, and etc. All that stuff, jazz even. And obviously you can tell from the game that's where I took the most inspiration from. So I'm about to get copyrighted of that song. No, thank you. So basically, I guess that's the whole thing. Summarized in a good how long? 36 minutes? Darn, that's long. Nobody's gonna watch this. Which is why it's on my dump channel and not on the main. If I ever actually make a proper tutorial, good luck. I don't think I'm gonna, I think this is as far as I'll go. I'm gonna summarize everything. You have your maps. Each of this file is one room, which is why if you click on it, it's gonna open a new file, and so on and so forth. Clean your tabs. If you're not editing this, close it. Control W. If you have made a change, save it. And then you just clear out your tabs, save it, and that stuff, and you close it. You can also, like I said earlier, you can make your own levels. Hell no. Control C, Control V, and then I could name it like Cool World. Amazing. And maybe even, maybe you could even add a pixel art thing. Or let's say I just want to make legacy levels in the game. That'll be cool. And from the demo of the game, of this old version of the game that I made, you can do a lot of it, actually. You can even edit the sprites, maybe change the code. The source code is out there for you to edit. It's right out there. If you have any bug fixes or changes you want to make a pull request. If you want to fork it, go ahead. I don't care. It's open source. I don't want to touch it anymore. Right here, intro code. If you want to make this look better, go ahead. If you want to do something with this, go ahead. There's so much stuff in here. Or otherwise, why don't you make your own game? Which is actually a very hard thing to do, now that I think about it. With that out of the way, I hope this gives you a brief overview. Okay, well, not brief overview, that's like 40 minutes long. Jesus. I hope it gives you enough of a workload to figure out how to make this work. So, obviously, you have to read me. If you want to run the source code itself, you need this. You obviously need like Python 3.11 and Pygame Community Edition 2.5.3. Now, I'm not really sure for Mac and Linux because I haven't actually done it yet. All there is a Windows export, which is what this one is for. That's why it's only for Windows, unlike the previous version, which is actually based on web, and I could easily make an export specifically for Mac and Linux. So I believe this is simpler to make levels for because I'll get to that in a different video. I think it's simpler, honestly, because it has its own editor, it has its own viewer, you can easily import it here, and you can do it all within a browser. Isn't that amazing? You can do all of that in a browser. You don't need to download the game itself, you can just download the world file. You can play and stuff, you can like import a world and stuff. Like here, let me mute the audio first. It's like you could import your world, export it, but I'll get into that at a different time because all I'm here to talk about is this. Or yeah, that's what I've done already. So, goodbye. If you actually consider modding the game, good luck, and I hope you have fun pulling apart my game. And see you. And thank you for watching this long ass impromptu video that is completely unplanned for, unedited, raw footage, no mastering, no CapCut editing. That's it, nada. So bye bye.